GM everyone, welcome in to another bag check. What a crazy week it was in fantasy football. Actually had quite a number of good fantasy teams, both in the Underdog BR streets, also on DraftKings, and actually on Fanduel. Had a nice little sweat as well. We're going to take a look at all those teams. We are going to look at the high stakes stuff, the FFPC main event, the NFFC. Feel like I've got a good number of teams. I feel like we are heading in the right direction. Xavier Worthy pops up yesterday, got tackled on the first play. I held my breath. It's going to be okay, man. It's going to be okay, Xavier. I'm believing in you. So right now what you're looking at is the Eliminator. I have 25 teams left in the Eliminator. Right now I'm advancing 52% of them. Looks like according to Mr. PD, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams that are locked in. 2 more teams that are locked in. We've got a 70%er here. What is my 15%er? Let's look at this 15%er versus Stritch. What is this? Stritch 13 is my opponent here. He is done at quarterback. I am also done at quarterback. I have got very little at running back on this team, but I do have Garrett Wilson remaining. And I do have Marquez Valdez-Scantling. What team is Marquez Valdez-Scantling on? Who MVS is on Hoomst. He's on the 49ers. So this is wrong. So the timer here on MVS is wrong. So I need Garrett Wilson this evening to outscore. I would guess I need him to outscore Travis Kelce by 17. That feels okay. So that one, actually, I think that's possible. A big Garrett Wilson night, and this team is going to advance. This team, I am 13 points behind against Ja 15C. We shared a tight end room. I have Devin A-Chain remaining on this team, and I would need him to outscore Nicholas Chubb, J.K. Dobbins, and Braylon Allen. And okay, no, this one's dead. I will not be winning that one. This is down at 4% against JMO. We're both done at quarterback. I've got A-Chain remaining. He has no running backs remaining. He has Jalen Waddle, and okay, yeah, this one is cooked as well. So I will be advancing either 13 or 14. I guess this one is a dead 50-50. So what do we have here? Everyone's done at quarterback. We shared Justice Hill. He has both Devin A-Chain and J.K. Dobbins left. I have Gary Wilson and Cortland Sutton left, and Andre Yoshivas. Never say never. That one is a true. That one's a true 50-50. So I mean, how good is the Eliminator? Got to be one of my all-time favorite contests that has ever existed. The Eliminator. Feeling very good about the work being done there. Just got absolutely dominated in some of these. A 161 from Top Stat NFT rather. So shout out to him. And don't look now, boys. But let's pull up the leaderboard here and look at what we've got cooking in Best Ball Mania. We are not dead yet in Best Ball Mania. As of right now, this has got to be the closest I have ever been since I started doing YouTube to having a normal advance rate. It's got to be very close. Not that advance rate now, really particularly means anything, but I'm not saying it. But I think I would snap take. Yes. So I did intend to do this because it was a very small pool. I liked this rule in the Splash Sports Survivor. What it meant, however, look at this, dude. Death. Lost 7 entries in the Survivor. I lost. It looks like there's a weird update happening here, but 7 entries lost by yours truly in the Survivor, and everyone in the pool got killed. Yeah, so the stats tab is not going to be populated yet. Ooh, very, very bad week in the Slappy Survivor for those of us who picked the Packers or the Los Angeles Chargers. Just absolutely brutal stuff. But here you go. Here's a team that is 2.16 points behind that is not advancing. It has 2 quarterbacks who are alive. JT, Bucky, Swift, Sims. So all live running backs. Lamb, I mean, he's probably dead. Pickens is not dead. Moore is dead adjacent. Keenan Allen in the 12th round. You love to see it. So yeah, we're feeling pretty good. Ooh, what is my neighbor's exposure in Best Ball Mania? I had neighbors kind of well below market actually. In Best Ball Mania, my Malik neighbors, I had 14 Malik neighbors teams. Now sadly, 4 of them are advancing. So that's not great for 4 of your advancing teams. Yeah, okay, this team is super dead. So this is yes, the Packers tie counted as a loss in Survivor. But here you go. So this team is not going to advance. It's got nothing at wide receiver. Neighbors 0, Evans 0. I mean, maybe it could totally stumble across the finish line if Evans is able to return, but only 6 wide receivers, probably not happening. This neighbors team is more alive because it has Rome and Igbuka. Looks like it avoided season-ending injuries at the running back position. This neighbors team is pretty dead because McMillan's a 0. That one's close. This one, Malik Neighbors and AJ Brown. Don't think you're going to be winning very many. Don't think you're going to be winning very many of your pods with that. The thing that is nice for me is that a fair amount of my Jackson Dart teams do not have neighbors. So in Best Ball Mania, I had 13 Jackson Dart teams, but if you search by neighbors, only 5 of them. So more Jackson Dart teams without Malik Neighbors than with Malik Neighbors. So I really liked that. That's I mean, Jackson Dart, I think, is going to end up being one of the most important players in fantasy football this year. I wonder who the highest advance rate player is right now. I'm assuming that it is probably James Cook. James Cook is right now advancing 42% of teams. Sheesh. Yeah. All right. Let's check Wandale. Let's go. Username Davis Manick. We will check Wandale Robinson and Jackson. I keep typing it the JSN way. Only one with both of them. Interesting. Josh Allen, Jackson Dart, CMC, Ken Walker, Aaron Jones. You don't love to see it. Scattaboo, Braylon Allen, Miles Sanders, T. Higgins dead, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Rashid Shaheed, Trey Harris dead, Wandale, Wandale and Slayton and Adonai Mitchell. So that team's not very good either. That team's not great. I wonder what the Jonathan Taylor advance rate is. It's got to be fairly high. The Jonathan Taylor advance rate is currently 39%. If you drafted Jonathan Taylor and James Cook, of which there are, I wonder how many total teams in the pool are going to have both of those guys. This is some real good cope from T-Bear here. T. Higgins is not dead. Love to see that. T. Higgins is not dead. Hey, shout out to you for keeping the faith, man. I basically, I guess you have to have done this stuff for a while to realize what's dead and what's alive. But if you have a wide receiver 2 on a Jake Browning team, you're dead, brother. So there are 3,651 Jonathan Taylor and James Cook teams in Best Ball Mania, 67% of those are advancing. So draft those 2 players and advance. Pretty crazy. I mean, these are even less intense than some of the combinations from last season. Yeah, you know what? Let's just get this out of the way right now. I've never been so happy to be wrong about something than I was about Xavier Worthy. I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, assumed that Xavier Worthy was going to come back from that injury and basically play the worst, most uninspired football you were ever going to see. That is not what happened. Xavier Worthy was awesome in that game. He had a 115 yards from scrimmage. He saw 8 targets. He saw 8 targets with, I believe, a 16.5 average depth of target. He was phenomenally good in that game, and phenomenally good in that game against, obviously one of their biggest rivals. That was, that was an important game for the Kansas City Chiefs. What was his average of? 15 is his depth of target right now. Just like really, really intense. I mean, are you gonna beat Xavier Worthy with a 29% targets per route run? I don't think you are. Yes, I agree with Mr. Swish Sanders here. It's absolutely confirmation that the entire Chiefs 2025 game plan was 100% based around Xavier Worthy. Obviously, Rashee Rice is going to excel in the role that he's in, but the role that he's going to be in, here's your role. Juju Smith-Schuster, 5.2 average depth of target, 78% of the routes. Obviously, Rashee Rice's targets per route run is not going to be 13%. It's going to be a lot higher. Yeah, I mean, never let yourself get too high and never let yourself get too low. But definitely the Kansas City Chiefs look very good on offense right now. Coxer has a JT, Cook, and Hampton team in the top 15. Well, I think that we should, Mr. Coxer, Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, Russell Wilson. It does just go to show you can definitely eat zeros, right? I mean, there is no doubt about it. You can take zeros and still win in best ball because Ward has effectively been a zero. And I guess Russell Wilson's points counted a little bit as well in week 2. So Taylor, Hampton, Cook, Brian Robinson has been a zero, but is obviously a super high-end handcuff. Dylan Sampson. I mean, Dylan Sampson is probably he would be a neutral to what? He'd be, I guess you don't hate to see Dylan Sampson on a roster, but you're not excited to see him either. Coxer also has Puka. Coxer also has Rome. He also has Igbuka. Now, again, this is so funny. You guys are literally looking at the 15th place team out of 680,000 or something, which is insane. I mean, and he's got Loveland, who's been a zero. He's got Slayton, who's been a zero. He's got Trey Harris, who's been a zero. One of the worst picks in the 5th round entirely, Calvin Ridley. Which just, I mean, it does go to show the thing that I say all the time, which is that the misses certainly do not matter as much as the hits. The total number of guys who matter in fantasy football is so low every single year. Yeah, also the neighbor's injury, and he has Wan'Dale and Slayton. Here, let's bring back our age-old question. This was the question that I tilted everyone with last year when I did the Best Ball Mania leaderboard show with Liam. Would you buy this team for $100? Comment down below. If you're watching this on replay, would you buy Coxer's team for $100? Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, Russell Wilson at quarterback, Jonathan Taylor, Amarian Hampton, James Cook, Brian Robinson Jr., Dylan Sampson at running back, Puka Nacua, Calvin Ridley, Roma Dunze, Emeka Egbuka, Trey Harris, Wandale, and Slayton, Loveland, Kincaid, and Juwan. I actually am leaning yes, Mr. Coxer. I would lean this is a team that I would buy $100 for. I'm leaning yes. First being you have the right you have the right positional distributions. You also do not have any season-ending injuries. So right now, Trey Harris feels like a bad pick. Trey Harris, you're like, all right, Trey Harris is a 0. Okay, what if Quentin Johnston turns his ankle tomorrow? Trey Harris, not a 0. Colston Loveland comes back week 6 for the Chicago Bears after their bye week. We're in. I would say this is a team that I would say more than a lot of the teams last year. Like, no disrespect. Actually, you know what? 100% disrespect intended to the people who did really well in fantasy last year. A lot of the teams that did well last year, I just thought were utter dog shit. And I would look at them and I would be like, that team sucks. Be like, I don't want any part of that team. This is a well-constructed team. It looks really good. I currently right now, this is above my line for $100. Let's do the thing that we did last year where we do the had to not have them list of guys. It's going to take a while when we actually run it. So obviously the had not to have them guys, James Conner, Malik Neighbors. Who else are the had to not have them guys? So it's like the total number of teams that are like overall live in the contest. Would you, I guess I would put Calvin Ridley, I think, on the list. Yeah, I think Calvin Ridley is on the had to not have him list. I'm also going to put Joe Burrow on the had to not have him list. Najee, of course, on the had to not have him list. Caleb Johnson. Man, Caleb Johnson couldn't even get 5 points. I'm not putting Ladd on the had to not have him list. He's close. He's close, but he is not there yet. Ladd McConkey on there. Also not gonna put T. Higgins on there. Because T. Higgins could get there. Ridley's on the list. Aaron Jones on the list. All right, I'll take Ridley off. We'll do Aaron Jones. I'm removing Ladd. James Conner, Malik Neighbors, Joe Burrow, Najee Harris, Caleb Johnson, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon for sure on the had to not have them list. Yes, that was an accident. Hawkinson, I would say Hawkinson is pretty close on the had to not have them list. But I mean, he is at least Eckler. Yeah, Eckler as well. Whew, it's a lot. You start looking at it, it's a lot of guys. For the sake of the exercise, Calvin Ridley at least still exists. Calvin Ridley could be traded. Calvin Ridley, there are some ways that Calvin Ridley could still get you there. Oh, Tank Bigsby. For the purpose of this exercise, Tank Bigsby is absolutely on the list as well. Brian Robinson doesn't count as well. JCM obviously does not count. JCM just averaged 15. He just averaged 5.8 yards per carry yesterday. JCM certainly there. Okay, you guys are overboard. Travis Hunter is like, yeah, he's not going to earn 5th round value, but he's definitely not. You had to not have him. He's been out there running routes. He didn't play any snaps on defense yesterday. Reed, I think Kittle sounds like he is going to be back. So let's do this. James Conner, Malik Neighbors, Joe Burrow, Najee Harris, Caleb Johnson, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, Tank Bigsby, and Jaden Reed. This also is definitely wrong. The anti Bowers people, they're going to get their comeuppance. I'm not going to include Russell Wilson and Anthony Richardson because they could very well end up coming back. I mean, Harvey is about to have 17 points tonight, so I would definitely say, all right, we're running it right here. Yeah, of course Bowers is not lapping the tight end field. He's got an insane knee brace on. Bowers, but Bowers probably should have just sat. Okay. All right. Well, now, Jake, this is just hurtful, man. It's just hurtful. What do you got to be like that for, bro? Come on. Now Tua is gonna score like 20 fantasy points tonight. You guys are going overboard on the had to not have them list. Here, it's a bit much. Oh, okay. We might have broken PD's site. I think we might have broken it. Yeah. All right. Well, the search doesn't work. Don't be mean to old Patrick Donovan about it. But I do think this is the comprehensive list. Let me just sort for. I'll search for my own teams. This is my own show. Okay. Well, it's not working either. But that is the take off read and see if it works with one less. I found the excluded player. Okay. Yes, this thought experiment is useless. It's useless to see play. I mean, Zeus, I respect what you're saying, but these are literally players who are out for the season other than Caleb Johnson. Or I guess Aaron Jones theoretically could come back. But these are literally players who are not playing this year. All right, we'll remove Aaron Jones. We'll remove Caleb Johnson. See if that might work. There we go. Oh, I might have just had too many guys there. No, Ayuk theoretically will be back. Yeah, Scary Terry's dead. Sounds like they think that Terry might have to have a core muscle surgery, which is basically like done. Yeah, Joe Burrow ain't walking through that door. I don't know about that. I feel like the Vikings offense still absolutely has a place for Aaron Jones. I'm more fantasy points for rest of the season. Well, the thing is Caleb Johnson might be the problem with Caleb Johnson is he might just be getting zeros or negatives. He could fumble on a kickoff and just get you negatives. You know what's funny about the Commanders offense? Yesterday, they averaged as a team, all the running backs other than McNichols averaged over 5.5 yards per carry, and McWeapon only had under 5 yards per carry because he got blown up on like a wildcat stack. Yeah, this is actually true. Underrated dead player Mike Evans, hamstring injury and back-to-back seasons at his age. That's certainly true. All right, we broke BBMDB, so I'm gonna close BBMDB for a moment here and head back over to Underdog Fantasy and let him take a second. Yeah, I'm not the BTJ stuff yesterday looked all right. Godwin did not look good. Godwin looked like shit, but Godwin looking like shit, maybe a little bit of a blessing in disguise because he was a full-time player. So maybe there's a little bit of a buy low there. Let's take a look at the big board. I wonder how we are looking in the big board. We're advancing 18%, so that is below average in the big board, but I have a sense that is a contest that things will be looking a little bit better in for me. Let's look at some of these. We've got a 4th place team here. What's I guess you should advance if it's 3 out of 12, what should your advance rate be? I guess 20 what? You should be advancing 25% of your teams ish. No, that's not right either. A little bit less than JJ McCarthy is not dead. JJ McCarthy is not dead. All right, very first big board team. It's not 37.5. All right. Hurts, Prescott, Darnold, pretty good. Ken Walker, Trevion, 10th round Pacheco, Trey Benson, Gurendo, Roshan, St. Brown, AJ Brown, Marvin Harrison, Igbuka, Downs, Shaheed, Elijah Moore, Roman Wilson, Jake Ferguson, Kyle Pitts, and Harold Fannin. Okay, it's 25%. That just sounded really hard to me. There you go. Okay. 37.5 teams, 25% advance rate. So I'm definitely not there then. I'm advancing 27. I'm advancing 18. But it does look like I have a decent number of teams that are pretty close. Like these are all within like relatively single digits. I don't have as many no-hopers. Actually, very few no-hopers. Maybe I'm the big board goat. I don't have a single team that is okay. That one's 99 points behind. Here we go. So I only have like 30 teams that are 100 points behind or more. I wonder. Okay, this is my dead lowest scoring big board team. 304 points. Mahomes, Stroud, Darnold. Okay, so all alive quarterbacks. Kamara, Tracy, Brian Robinson, Tank Bigsby, Damian Martinez, Jordan James. My God. Look at that running back room. Horrendous. Nico Collins, Xavier Worthy, J-Mo, Godwin, Mims, Restrepo. That's very funny. Savion Williams, Gabe Davis, Brock Bowers, Isaiah Likely, Gunnar, Helm. What's the threshold at which you would consider a team unable to catch up? I would think, I don't know. What do you guys think? Right now, it's week 4. I would think anything further than like 50 points back is pretty close to dead. No, it is not only is it not too early to say that Kyle Pitts is back. Kyle Pitts is just fully back. Kyle Pitts is like a big win. You think 60? 60 I would say is like definitely not happening. 50 I would say is borderline. All right. Donnie has a thought experiment. With what we know now, what week 17 stack would you want to have, and which one did you want that you would avoid like the plague right now? Well, that's easy. Cincinnati, Arizona is just like the worst possible. Cincinnati, Arizona is going to be like literally the worst game that anyone has seen in fantasy. Like it's just going to be two teams that are eliminated, not even close to the playoffs. And then what game was I targeting guys from that I don't want now? I don't know. I think the games I liked, I still wanted. I still want Bears players. I still want 49ers players. I still want Detroit players. I still want Minnesota players. Yeah, I think really the only thing is that I just didn't really want, I wanted Cincinnati. Yeah. Well, you want dice and darts, but I also liked dice and darts preseason. I knew that was happening. I guess I didn't know anything. I guessed it was very likely that Jackson Dart was going to start for the Giants and that Jackson Dart was going to be a good, fun player. Although the Neighbors-Bowers correlation does really suck right now. Maybe Packers-Ravens was a little bit better than I would have anticipated. Packers-Ravens was a game I would have thought would have been kind of bad. Oh, look at these. These are so funny. These big board quarterback rooms. Richardson, Ward, Fields, Derrick Henry, Ken Walker, Hendo, Travis Etienne in the 10th round. Kendre Miller. Dude, Kendre Miller looked very, very good for the Saints yesterday. I was very intrigued by that. Puka, JSN, JMO, Godwin, Diggs, Hunter, 11th round Hunter, Gabe Davis, Jalen Knoll, David Njoku, Zach Ertz, and Gunnar Helm. Wonder how many routes Gunnar Helm ran yesterday. Where are we at for Gunnar Helm watch? Tennessee Titans in week 4. We got 37% of the routes for Gunnar Helm. He's coming back. He's coming back. T-Mac has definitely not been garbage, bro. That's crazy. Is that really the sentiment out there, that he's not been good? Doesn't he have like a 35% target share? Oh, I guess he doesn't. 20. Oh, that was just 1 week. 25%, 23% targets per route run, 72 utilization rate. He looks pretty good, man. Taysom is injured, bro. I did see Cam Ward's quote yesterday. He said, what was he say? All due respect, we ass. Oh, I think Henderson, I felt relatively encouraged by Henderson yesterday. You know, he's in this brutal 3-way rotation, but he's also the best running back they have. Like, obviously what has to happen with Henderson is that these touches right here, 23% of the rushes, 21% short down and distance for Gibson. These have to go to 0. But yeah, Henderson just did not play as much. But I think that Henderson is going to be fairly. I mean, he's been the most efficient Patriots runner. But I'm not, I don't know. Are you guys really sweating Trevion Henderson that bad? Isn't he like kind of fine? Like, I don't know. Where is he at in total, like half PPR fantasy points? I mean, he might very well settle into the category of a guy who doesn't matter at all. But there are plenty of guys who don't matter at all. Like, who do we think has more okay, let's actually look this up. Trevion has 30 fantasy points, 30.9 half PPR. He has 12 less than Jake. I guess that's not fair because J.K. Dobbins has already played. He's got 17 fewer points than Cam Scadaboo. He has 18 fewer points than Derrick Henry. I don't know, man. I don't really think you can be sweating it that hard. Like, guess what? If you don't have one of these 5 guys on your team, your running backs are kind of all the same right now. Like, even good running backs this year. Like, dude, Saquon Barkley has not topped 16 points in a game yet. Oh, it's definitely Woody Marks over Henderson. I mean, Woody, you want to talk about league winners. Woody, dude, it is over for Chubb. Look at this, dude. This usage is so crazy from yesterday. This was if you subscribe at patreon.com/DavisMattic and you get the Monday morning TLDR, I led with Woody Marks' usage yesterday. Look at this. Week 4, got an 86 utilization rate for Marks, 90% of the long down and distance, 60% of the short down and distance, 19% of the team's targets. It's over. I'd be surprised if Swift clings on to the role, but Bucky Irving. Well, I think the reason why Bucky is catching, and this is actually a good transition for us to go over to FanDuel. The reason why Bucky was such a smash yesterday was because of the combination of the Evans injury and of the Bucs offensive line injury. All right. So this is the sweat from the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys were watching the Shipcast or the Gilcast last night, but I was basically a 49ers garbage time touchdown. Well, I guess it wouldn't have been garbage time. It would have. Could they have won the game if they scored on that final drive? I guess I honestly do not remember. Could the 49ers have won if they scored on that final drive? Let me look this up. I literally do not remember the final score. Yeah, they could have. So Purdy fumbles on the final drive against the Jaguars. A touchdown there, or anything from Pearsall, who left the game injured. I'm unblocked because it was Stafford, Mariota, May ahead of me. So I'm unblocked to first place. So a difference between $6,000 and $750 with Brock Purdy, 22 points at 14% owned. Amari Hampton, 28 points at 44%. Obviously, the big difference in this team was Marquise Bucky Irving scoring 26 points, basically unowned. Ricky Pearsall, I guess I could have played Jennings. Puka gets 32. I fished it up with Jacoby Myers. Tyler Warren gets 15. Ashton Jeanty gets 35. The Houston Texans get 14. But that was one of my better sweats of the year thus far. Been having a very, honestly, just like a very good fantasy season. Honestly, my teams are best ball teams are okay, but FanDuel teams have been good. I guess I haven't had any two particularly good DraftKings GPP teams, just a couple that were all right, but this one was really tilting me because I should have just won. It should have just been Purdy completes a touchdown to Jake Tongas and we just win. Would have been nice. Would have been nice to be able to deliver something to the boys. Yeah. So that was the FanDuel sweat. Needed one more, and we did not get it. Ooh, any way to check teams with players to go in the splash? Oh no, but I don't even remember what I played on Splash. But let's go check that out. The Swole Cat. Ooh, so it looks like I have 2 sweats here, but I don't know if I have anyone left to go. How can you tell if you have PMR? Allen, Purdy, Mahomes, St. Brown, Caleb didn't. Okay, I don't have anyone left to go. Puka, Hurts, Herbert, Bucky. No. All right. No such luck. No PMR over on Splash Sports. Click on it. Well, I you can edit it, right? Okay, but yeah, these guys, all these guys already played. So who's in first right now? This guy Tate 81. Tate, I don't know if you watch or if you're just a Splash Sports bro. You are the GOAT of tiers. You absolutely smashed last week. First place, CMC, Purdy, Mahomes, Love, Prescott, Cook, Hampton. And he played Jeanty in tier 8. Wow. Jeanty, that is some sick shit right there. In the Splash Tiers contest. Wow. Woof. It's true. I did drop the don't worry about the rookie running backs, and then they immediately smashed. It's true. All right, and then I guess I clicked over to Survivor earlier, but just what a nightmare. The contest is down to 130 people left. Man, 130 people left. So a lot of people. I had 7 entries knocked out last week. I've got the Reeves entry left. So I have 2 entries left. Really, really tough. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But, that is quite literally the name of the game in terms of surviving. All right, let's take a look over at the BR stuff. I didn't get as much back as I have the last couple weeks. Emwald, I don't think I have an owner's box promo code. I did have a couple conversations with them, but we were not able to line anything up. So let's see. Last week I got 1,900 back. This week in the dailies, I got $1,380 back. Mostly because I had a really good team in the victory formation. I finished 5th in the victory formation with a naked Mahomes team. Mahomes, Bucky, Jeanty, St. Brown. And I was Adams 1v1 the winner. And Goddard too as well. These are not site credits, brother. These are Josh Allen, Bucky Irving, Ashton Jeanty, Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas Jr., and Tyler Warren. Josh Allen, Bucky Irving, Ashton Jeanty, Puka Nacua. Yes. So I was 2v2 the winning team. So Josh instead of Mahomes, and then St. Brown instead of BTJ. Well, the game, I will say, the game looked pretty insane. I didn't watch that game, bro. I fell asleep at halftime of that game, and I wasn't even watching. I wasn't even watching the first half anyway. I was reading my book. That's what we do, man. I don't think Brian Thomas Jr. got injured yesterday. Did BTJ get injured yesterday? I believe he has a current wrist injury, but he's fine now. Yeah, Fannin ran one more route than David Njoku. There you go. Man. So that was pretty close. That was pretty close again. Allen versus Mahomes, BTJ versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. We were close enough. Feeling pretty good about that. Did I have any other sweats in here? I don't think I had any good teams in the Wildcat. Maybe a good team. Were any of these any good in the fullback dive? There you go. Tedderoy, 15% drafted Tedderoy McMillan. Man, I had so much Ashton Jeanty yesterday. I was all over it with Mr. Jeanty. Deposit King. Oh, I got 11th place in the Deposit Kingdom. Someone really nutted out though. Wow, would Captain James have won the main BR 143.62? 140. No, okay, no, he wouldn't have. Someone put up a crazy score in there though. Oh yeah, we are definitely going to keep drafting 6th round Brian Thomas Jr. All right, so that is all the Underdog stuff. We could take a look over on DraftKings real quick. Filter this to the National Football League. Played this in cash. Easy win. Dart, Cook, Hampton. By the way, the numbers on these teams, check your head-to-heads. The head-to-head numbers are wrong. Something went wrong with the DK head-to-head stuff yesterday. People's accounts were like literally like thousands of dollars off. So I would tell you to check your head-to-head stuff. But easy winner yesterday, 170.44. Dart, Cook, Hampton, Puka, Jacoby Myers, Chris Olave, Brenton Strange, Christian McCaffrey. And then this was my best tournament team in the Big Spy. Here we go. Mahomes, James Cook, Hampton, Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Deebo Samuel, Travis Kelce, Christian McCaffrey, in the Falcons defense. Jennings said he was going to be fine. Jennings said it was all good. I don't know if that's actually true, but that is what he said. Pearsall, someone just posted this in the Discord. Ricky Pearsall said he felt pain and a little bit of instability after coming down hard on his knee, decided to shut it down after running for one snap. Well, Mitchell was pretty popular, so it wouldn't have been that big of a pay jump. Like the guy that won, 217, Stafford, Cook, Hampton, Adams, Mitchell, Drake London, Tyler Warren, Puka Nacua in the flex, and the Detroit Lions defense. But there you go. That's over on DraftKings. Yeah, Kelce hard click, and he did not play very much either. That's the other thing, is he also got subbed off more than usual. All right, here is our high stakes check-in. Not as good of a day, I believe, for some of these high stakes teams. I don't check though. That's one thing that I've done for this show is I don't want to know. I don't want to know how the high stakes teams are doing until we get here. 186 points for this Dynasty League team. Now, this is a high stakes Dynasty team that I co-own with Michael Leone. Look at who we started as our running back too. What do you guys know about starting Kenny Gainwell as your running back too? 31.4 points. Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, Kenny Gainwell, Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown, LOL, Mark Andrews, George Pickens, Zay Flowers. Sadly, we do have Justice Hill on the bench on this team. And we have Worthy, and we have Olave. Probably not enough horses to get there, though. This team just lost Malik Neighbors. Oh, no. Sorry, that's a different team. This team just lost Malik Neighbors. We have 2 left to play tonight. We have Chase and Waddle. 4 points from Malik Neighbors here. Gibbs, JT. We had to start Christian Kirk. Things are, CeeDee Lamb and Malik Neighbors out. Tough stuff. Worthy way over Hill. Would you trade Chase Brown and Olave for Hampton? Yeah, and I wouldn't even think twice about it. AJB is not quite quitting. AJB is fine. His team has 2 games this year where they've gained less than 100 yards in the second half of games. All right, this is Destroyer. We have 3 left to play. Dobbins, Garrett Wilson, Dolphins team defense. That is going to be an easy win. And that is going to take us to 2-2 with a decent amount of points scored. So that is one team that's in a good spot. This is Alchemy. This one we messed up a start sit on. So we started. Oh God, what a shitty team actually that we've got going on here. Hurts, Pacheco, Chase Brown, Jacoby Myers, Devonta, Kincaid, JSN, Ferguson. But we've got Justice Hill on the bench and Jake Tongus on the bench. Rashad White on the bench. McWeapon on the bench. That team is probably trending towards being dead. And it is a 3 seed right now, so that sucks. Arcade Fire. This is a co-managed one with Ron. We've got, We have the Miami defense against Bo Nix down by a point. Down by 1 point. Did we make any bad start sits here? Not really. I mean, I guess we could have started Brenton. Lad McConkey killing us. Where is this one at in the standings? Arcade Fire, we are 2-1, so we're going to be 2-2 with a decent amount of points scored. Life of a Showgirl, and Miss Swift's album comes out next Friday. This team is going to book a win with Lamar, Harvey, Jefferson, Adams, Ferguson, Zay Flowers, Romeo Dubs, bringing us back from the dead with the Dolphins defense. Justice Hill on the bench. Not much else on the bench there, though. And this team is going to be 2-2 with a lot of points. 2-2 with a lot of points, actually. 420 plus the 140-ish we're going to get this week, so that's a win. All right, this is our team with Silva, Reeves, Thorman, and JJ. It has 98 points. Billen has 146 and has Garrett Wilson left. We have Fields and Harvey. 2 points for AJ Brown, 5 points for Jameson Williams. We have Harvey and Chase left, so we're dust. Nothing really on the bench either. We're just waiting to get Rashee Rice back. We really need to get Rashee Rice back from suspension as soon as possible. So that team is going to go to what? That team is going to go to 2-2 with, okay, so it's not dead yet, but it's not great. Evermore is going to go to 2-2. Oh, is this team going to go? Yeah, this team's going to go to 2-2. Purdy, A-Chain. Well, a 40 ball from A-Chain maybe, and we're live. Purdy, A-Chain, Montgomery, Adams, Waddle, Bowers, DJ Moore, Tet, Jake Elliott in the Arizona defense. We did get Dart on this team. Jordan Addison is back. Okay. So that's how it's shaping up over on the FFPC. Pretty good. Wouldn't say bad. Here we go. The NFFC, first place by 13 points right now. This is the team with Nate Noling. We started. Oh, and we're playing Michael. We're playing Mr. Emsos. Purdy, Barkley, Cook, JSN, Tet, Godwin, Trey McBride, Scattaboo, Chiefs, and the Lions defense. We have Aaron Jones waiting to come back. We have Christian Kirk. So not a ton on the bench on that team, but we are in first place. Here is the co-managed team with Soccer Dave. And we are up 18 points on who? We are up 18 points on Jamar Chase. So that is going to be a sweat. And I started both Shakir and Coleman. I guess I could have started Hollywood, but all the rest of our bench guys are zeros. Jennings got 6, I guess. Bills defense was not great here. That's a lot of the Buffalo Bills. Huh. Okay, so sweating Chase there. Where are we at in the standings in this league? We're in second place in this league. So it would really be nice to get it would really be nice to get a win. All right. Silver bullet with Leone. We should book a win here. We are down 6 points, no PMR for the opponent, and we have Fields and Jalen Waddle. Fields, JT, Scattaboo, Jefferson, Pickens, Keon, Trey McBride, Jalen Waddle. We have Tootin on the bench. We have Wicks on the bench. Jennings on the bench. Jaden Higgins on the bench. And what about the standings of this league? Okay, so we're going to go to 3-1. And when we are far behind in points, the overall third team in the contest is in our pool. So that doesn't feel particularly great, but hey man, things are going all right. And then we will check in on the worst team in fantasy sports. It's got to be one of the worst teams I've ever drafted. This is the one with Liam. Funnily enough, we actually did get 27 points out of Woody Marks, but 3 points from Tootin, 7 points from Judy, 7 points from DJ Moore, 17 from Worthy, 10 from Mark Andrews, 8 targets for Mark Andrews yesterday. I don't know, boys. I gotta say, it does feel pretty good. It does feel like overall our fantasy teams are pretty good. Feels like we're in a good spot with all the best ball stuff. Feels like a lot of the high stakes teams are definitely trending in the right direction. I mean, what more can you really ask for at this stage? We you know, we're just trying to find some winners. And as of September 29th, we are not disqualified from winning yet, you know? And that's really all you can ask for, I think, is to just not be disqualified from winning after a month of football has been played. Well, I have a lot of co-managers. Not on all of them, but I have many co-managers. Big lessons to remember for best ball next year. I don't know. I guess don't panic and freak out about rookie running backs after 2 weeks of the season. Got 58th in the BR with Juwan Johnson. Thanks for the Gene T hype. Well, speaking of BR, I think we should probably go over and go see what the BR is all about. Right? We should go. Actually, first off, let's do our PTP. Let's do our PTP bash. I have not looked at this slate at all, but I have a sense that I know what the winning combination, or at least the combination that I'm going to want to play is. Disqualified from winning would be your heart on a t-shirt. It would. I don't think this is true. And I think this is only true because Brock Bowers has a knee injury. I don't think you're going to be feeling that confident shortly. Prime time Palooza strategy. So if you are playing the PTPs, first thing to note is there is really no projection difference between Tua and Browning. I think that the quarterback ADPs are probably bad. I think that you should just take whatever tight end you get. Ingram's projection is not good. RJ Harvey looks good to me. Ollie Gordon looks really good to me. Braylon Allen looks really good to me. Jalen Wright and Piran, I think, are close to undraftable. Yoshibas seems bad. Oof. This is a brutal PTP slate. Where is Marvin Mims? Marvin Mims is wide receiver 8. This is quite an uncomfortable PTP. Yeah, this is PTP is bad. We will pop up the BR slate immediately after this. I guess my structural thoughts would be this is going to be the cheapest you're ever getting Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown. So maybe you just say Jake Browning needed one game to get his feet wet. I mean, clearly that is the angle that's clearly, I think, the angle you'd be taking on this slate is kind of higher on the Bengals and higher on the Dolphins. Lower, like particularly like being low on the Jets feels fine. Yeah, I will. Are they going to cancel this for Bo Nix going first overall? But yeah, we are gonna take Devin A Chain at the 1.2. See, I think you definitely can get stuck with Browning in these. I would take you guys are being silly. I'd take Bowers easy. I'd take Bowers easy over Ferguson. Yeah, it feels like a pretty choppy slate. But I would be coming into this slate thinking it's actually totally fine to get stuck, quote unquote, with Jake Browning in these because that to me that looks like one of the clearest angles on this slate, which is everyone thinks the Bengals are dead, but the Bengals might not be dead. I mean, sure, they're like 80% to be dead, but I don't know. Oh, all right. Yeah, they do definitely cancel these all the time, and this one probably is going to get canceled because Jake Browning just went at 1.4. So this one probably does get canceled, but they definitely don't cancel them all the time. Like they get canceled at a certain degree. Sure. So we will take Devin A Chain and Garrett Wilson, who is certainly the wide receiver one of this slate. Garrett Wilson, second in the NFL in target share. I wouldn't say canceled for sure, but I would guess right now that this one probably gets canceled. And if it does, it does. Um man. I also really like I really like RJ Harvey conceptually in this slate. Wow. All right, so this one probably does get canceled because this is such a crazy combo. A Chain, Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase. But what if it doesn't, bro? No, I'm not. I'm not grabbing a Miami wide receiver. Was offered JSN for Bucky. I would not do that. I mean, JSN is obviously this elite fantasy asset, but it's harder to get the bell cow running back in fantasy at this stage. I feel. I don't know. Maybe that isn't true, but that's the way it feels to me. Although I mean, it's funny. Bucky and JSN might be two of the 10 guys that actually matter in fantasy football this year, which is such an interesting thing to think about, because so few guys do matter for fantasy football. And if you try and trade for both of them. Hard to say. And then I guess I haven't even started to look at BRs yet, but I know that this year or that this is the first week of bye weeks. Sure. All right. I will take Evan Ingram, I guess. I don't even think Evan Ingram is any good, but we're going to take him. Evan Ingram, his 8.7 points could do it here. Well, Lamar does have a hamstring injury. I mean, I don't know how real it is. JT versus Raiders is a smash. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And then let's take Harvey and press 2 and we'll press the plane. So if this one doesn't get thrown out, maybe I just won the primetime bash. I do think that Burden probably comes out of the bye week with an expanded role. I mean, obviously not certain about this, but that would be one of the things that I would anticipate happening. I would also I also would have anticipated it happening for Loveland, but maybe not now with this hip injury. Game wasn't over. I don't think Lamar quit. Hammy is probably legit. I mean, sadly, it does seem like that probably is the case. I hope not, but What can you do? All right. No, the Niners should not trade for DJ Moore. I wouldn't want to cut Burden because I feel like you want to be invested in the passing game for the Bears, but I see why you would. All right, Devin Achane, Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, Evan Ingram, RJ Harvey, and Tua Tagovailoa. There you go. A little bit of PTP. Let's see what they've got for us in the Battle Royale streets. They are running it back. $50,000 to first this week. I really didn't know if they would because they almost did not fill it last week. I believe it literally took until right before the morning of for it to fill. But hey, shout out to Numi and to Hope. And I have not looked. I literally have no idea what we're about to see. JT and Jimmy. Oh my God, the Lions play at the Bengals. Ooh, the Lions play at the Bengals. That is really something. All right. So at the quarterback position, you've got Lamar and Daniels, both with the Q tag. Fields gets to play Dallas. Philadelphia against Denver. Goff outdoors, I don't love. Herbert looks good. Daniel Jones at home in the Dome looks really good. Dak is obviously a smash. Dart in the Dome. Can Dart get 30, though? Kyler Murray against the Titans. That one, he's going to be underdrafted for sure. In terms of scroll running backs, you've got Marks. You've got Montgomery. You've got Walker and Sharbs. Man, so there's not a ton of scrolls at running back. You got Pickens, you've got Debo, you've got Olave, Ladd. Oh my God, Ladd is a scroll. You've got Godwin, maybe. Jacoby Myers, classic Jacoby Myers. With week 3 and week 4 limb payouts coming out, the BRs are going to fill faster. Wow. All right, there we go. Shady is you're on top of it. Shady knows ball. Wandale probably not in the 6-mans, maybe more the 12-mans. Sure, I mean whatever. You can click old J Dart. Or you can click Wandale if you want. I'm gonna have. You know what? I'm actually gonna click St. Brown. Wide receiver is not deep this week. Wide receiver is like dead after wide receiver 9. I don't know. I think you're gonna want to go St. Brown there. I mean, maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Yeah, well, first off, you are an unreliable narrator as it pertains to the Detroit Lions, Purple Yosh, certainly. I feel pretty good about Flowers. You just kind of need the Ravens to get their shit together. Brashard Smith blurb from Reed. Matt Nagy's trying to increase Smith's reps every week and put him in a position where he can do some things. I mean, he almost scored last week. He did almost score last week. All right. There you go. So that worked out just fine because we can do. I'm no disrespect intended, but I'm taking Derrick Henry against Houston because aren't Houston just going to completely run the ball? Like if Cooper Rush starts, Derrick Henry is going to get 27 rushes. Tolan wants me to post the Slappy the Seal link over on Twitch. I'm happy to do it, but yes, Slappy the Seal shirts still available for anyone who wants to do some Slappy the Sealing. All right, Chase. Oh, I mean, easiest decision of my life. Ashton Jeanty is a 3rd-round pick. Is this serious, bro? Yeah, I actually do think it's probably unover for the Chiefs offense. That currently is my opinion. It's unover. Cedric Tillman out, quote, weeks is it Bond season? I mean, I would err on the side of saying yes. It's unover for Isaiah Bond, or I got confused there. I would be buying on Bond. Bond is for sure going to be in the waiver wire video on this channel in whatever 20 hours or whatever. But yes, the Browns are going to play a ton of 12 for sure. Puka is the GOAT. Yeah, Puka is the GOAT. If he was able to stay healthy for 17 games this season, he's currently on pace for 179 catches for 12,138 yards. That is unbelievable. All right, Bowers is a 4th round pick. My goodness. What do we do here? Do I want to take Deebo Samuel? Do I want to take Marvin Harrison Jr.? Do I want to take Michael Pittman as a bring back? Do I want to take Jake Ferguson and Dak? Do I want to take Jake Ferguson and Dak? Yes, I do. I want to take Jake Ferguson and Dakota Prescott. There we go. And maybe I won't even be able to get him. Maybe I missed something. But Jake Ferguson, PPR scamming with the absolute best of them. Wow. Ben Weaver must be the biggest crusher in the history of Underdog daily games. But my goodness. What is your ideal exposure for these scrolls each week? Here, I can pull up my exposures from last week and we can talk about it a little bit. Obviously, though, the exposure to the scrolls is going to be a little bit different on a bye week versus a regular week. Good luck on getting a Swolecast shirt, especially if it's a 3-1 from 3 years ago. Still waiting. Thanks, Kitchen. You got to stay on his ass. So here are my exposures from last week. Let me finish doing this draft and then I'll pull them up. So let's take Mr. Dakota Prescott. And then let's think about wide receiver scrolls. Obviously, I think Deebo is there. I do think you can take Ladd. I do think you can take Pittman. I do think you can probably take Cortland Sutton. I do think you can Jacoby Myers, Rashid Shaheed, Jalen Waddle against Carolina. It is freaking thin out here, boys. Oh, you know what? My drafters teams are not doing very good, Todd. They're really not. Can we talk about, yes, our boy, Chris Mazzone, hit a 129x touchdown only pick 'em for the Dawg Bowl qualifier yesterday, and he did so in the first quarter. I'm going to take Ladd McConkey. I'm the last Japanese soldier still fighting on that island. But if you guys got to see this. If you maybe you weren't watching the Shipcast, maybe you didn't see it yesterday. Unbelievable stuff. Let me see if I can pull it up on the Underdog account because I think they quote tweeted it. Here you go. So Chris tweeted this at me and Pete and the Badge Bros yesterday morning. First quarter, he goes, LMAO and my ridiculous Dawg Bowl qualifier actually popping off early. Sorry to anyone who has Drake London. We all know how this ends. Kendre Miller, Quinshon Judkins, and Tommy Tremble. And then immediately after he tweeted it, Drake London scored. Like almost immediately. 129x. Unbelievable shit. I had 30% neighbors last week if he didn't get hurt. I would have felt pretty mediocre about that. I was underweight Malik Neighbors. So let me I've got these pulled up. So these are my wide receiver exposures from last week. 17% Puka, 17% St. Brown, 13% Deebo Samuel, 13% Neighbors, 11% Zay Flowers. My wide receiver exposures tend to be a lot flatter unless I have like a real strong opinion. So like what's a stance I made? So I was really underweight Nico, but relative to the field, I was overweight on Tet. I was overweight on DJ Moore, overweight on QJ, overweight on Michael Pittman Jr. I kind of think the move is to be underweight the middling projected wide receivers and overweight on a lot of the running backs is kind of how I view it. The Slap's biggest misses in best ball are Gainwell and Taekwon. I mean, KD, all due respect. These guys literally do not matter at all in fantasy football. Like, it's just completely irrelevant for fantasy football. If you told us the Chargers would be leading the league in PROE through 4 weeks, we probably would have been taking Lat at the 1-2 turn. Yeah, that is definitely true. And then my running back exposures are going to be a little bit different. Overweight a lot of the running backs at the top. Overweight Genty compared to the field. Underweight Barkley. Underweight Cook. Overweight Montgomery. Overweight on Henderson. Overweight on ETN. Overweight on Judkins is kind of just, I think, the way in general to pursue doing that. But it's, you know, it's not a one size fits all thing. Like every slate is going to be pretty different. I don't know. It's going to be a long time before QJ gets his respect. Should I still start AJ Brown moving forward? I mean, who are you going to bench him for? Who are you going to bench AJ Brown for? Hard to find. You going to bench AJ Brown for Quentin Johnston? If you mentally can bench AJ Brown for Quentin Johnston, you're a stronger man than I am. I tell you that much. Do we have the Dawg Bowl up yet? Looks like, okay, there you go. Dawg Bowl qualifier is in fact up. What do we think? Should we do one? Should we do a DB? No, hold on. Let's do a pick'em first. Let's get a crazy Monday Night Football pick'em, because I've already got one up that's on the YouTube Shorts, but let's do a Monday Night Football pick'em entry. So start tossing them at me. We will do a Dawg Bowl qualifier, but I want to do this first. Please like the stream. Please like the stream. Yes. No one ever likes the videos. No one ever likes the videos. No one ever subscribes. We are actually, let's see, how many YouTube subscribers do I have now? It's like fairly close to 10,000. 9,754 subscribers. So we are close enough to 10,000. All right, so let's do. Oh, my screen was literally already open to RJ Harvey. All right, let's do RJ Harvey. Let's slide him to 19.5 receiving yards. 19.5 receiving yards for one Mr. RJ Harvey. Let's do Garrett Wilson. Let's slide Garrett Wilson to 6.5 receptions higher. I want to go do T. Higgins, and we're going to do a slide down. This is how you do it. We're going to slide him up to 69.5 yards, but we're going to take the lower on that. Man, I wish you could do this. Fields props feel mega giga smash. Okay. We'll do Fields. What's the better number? Fields to score a rushing touchdown or Fields to do... Yeah, let's do Fields rushing touchdown. We've got RJ Harvey receiving yards, Garrett Wilson receiving yards, T. Higgins. Let's do Chase Brown. We're going to do another negative slider here. We're going to take him up to 74.5 rushing yards. We're going to take the lower. No, the T lower is a slider. This is advanced underdog game theory. Swish, you wouldn't know anything about it. Let's do Devon A-Chain. And let's slide Devon A-Chain to higher than 7.5 receptions. Yeah, buddy. That's how you do it. All right, that gets us to a 66.51x. This is my boy Josh Dombrowski. Oh, it's gone. Josh had the first quarter receptions. So let's just do Darren Waller to have a reception period at 0.65x. That gets us to an 80x multiplier. All right, we need one more. And if we get the right one, let's go Cincinnati, Denver. We could do... What is Jake Browning to throw a pick? Oh, all right, it's not that good. Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, 18.5 receiving yards. Marvin Mims, maybe. Marvin Mims. I kind of like lower than 2.5 receptions on Gesicki. What about lower than... What does this pay? Yeah, no. Troy Franklin lower than 43.5 also feels kind of good. I do like Troy Franklin lower receiving yards. All right, we got to do everything we can to get Mason Taylor more involved. All right, there you go. Say less. We'll do Mason Taylor. What's this pay? There you go. There's our 100x. All right, so there's some complicated sliding involved in this one to get it to a 100x, but that's in the YouTube chat. That's in the YouTube description. This is as follows. To get a 100x multiplier on Underdog Fantasy, $10 for 1,022. RJ Harvey higher than 19.5 receiving yards. Garrett Wilson higher than 6.5 receptions. T. Higgins lower than 69.5 receiving yards. Fields to score a rushing or receiving touchdown. Chase Brown lower than 74.5 rushing yards. Devon A-Chain higher than 7.5 receptions. Darren Waller higher than 0.5 receptions. Mason Taylor higher than 1.5 receptions. Wow, his dad played for both teams. Yes, Mr. Mark Smith is the CMC fader extraordinaire. No one is fading CMC harder than Mark. I would encourage him to stop being an extinction denier. But sometimes you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. All right, so there is a pick 'em for Monday night. Let's hop back in and look. It's true. Mazzone did literally, okay, let's do a touchdown one then. Let's do a touchdown one. Champions. Let's see. Let's do what's the most absurd? Let's do Malik Washington to score a touchdown. We'll do what? Mims to score a touchdown. That's not great. What's Franklin to score a touchdown? Franklin, nope, still not great. Let's do Braylon Allen to score a touchdown. Oh my God. These prices are terrible. Tyreek, Fields, G-Dub, Braylon, Waller, Ollie Gordon's. There you go. Ollie to score a touchdown. Ghost is saying not to enter a draft. Okay. Ghost is saying that the drafts are freezing. All right. Let's take Garrett Wilson to score a touchdown. And then let's do for Cincinnati, Denver. Let's do Sutton, Ingram. All right, we'll go Evan Ingram to score a touchdown. And we'll do what's Gesicki? Oh, Bo Nix to score a rushing touchdown. There you go. 241. The Monday night. All right, this is called the Mazzone. This is the Mazzone Special. Not financial advice, but this is the Mazzone Monday Night Football Special. Just something light, just a little 200. What was that? Like 225x. Easy game. Malik Washington, Ollie Gordon, Garrett Wilson, Evan Ingram, Bo Nix. You loved it. I guess maybe Garrett Wilson 2 touchdowns should have been better. All right, so tonight, I guess this feels more plausible than I thought on that high stakes team. We need Fields, Jamar Chase, and Harvey to beat Garrett Wilson by 48 tonight. All right, so let me go back and do one more. We need Fields, we need Chase, and we need Harvey to beat Garrett Wilson. All right. Oh, there's one more. That's exactly what we need to win our FFPC matchup tonight. Fields to score, Chase to score, Harvey to score, and Garrett Wilson not to score. So sick. The actual Mazzone. All right, this is from the horse's mouth. The actual Mazzone Special is Waddle first TD, Higgins anytime, Waller over 0.5 first quarter receptions. But I used all my luck. I don't know about that, man. When you're hot, you're hot, Chris. Don't second guess yourself. All right, we are gonna try and do this dog bowl. We're gonna try and see if we are able to DB it up or if our draft is gonna freeze. I hope it doesn't, but you never know. Will it freeze or will it not freeze? The links are in the YouTube chat. I honestly don't even remember what they were. All right, I just got okay, my BR's been frozen for 10 minutes. My BR's been frozen for about 15 minutes. Well, maybe don't enter this one. I just got offered, okay, I'm going to have to say no to this. In a dynasty team where I just lost Neighbors, I just got offered Tyreek Hill and a round 2 pick for Malik Neighbors. I'm going to have to say no to that. But reasonable offer. Probably not going to take it, but ownership on Mr. Monday Night Jake Browning. Yes. That can be the next thing we can do. We can actually just let's go do that right now. Let's leave this draft, let them figure it out, and let's go run the Sims for the Monday night slate. Run the Sims for Monday Night Football 2 Gamer. So let's go to runthesims.com, the premium sim runner. I got offered a 26 first, 27 first, and 26 second for Neighbors. Well, I'm assuming Mr. Swish, that your team is still, if your team is bad, that does nothing for you. The only reason to trade neighbors is if you have a good team that you just need the points on. All right. Let's check in on these projections. We have a 32% rush rate for Fields, 50% for Brees, 33% for Wilson, 14% for Josh Reynolds. I'm going to bump Mason Taylor up to 14 and 14. I'm going to take a smidgen away. Actually, I'm going to take let me message the Endgame channel. Let's go Adam. Need to tell him, check Arian Smith versus Tyler Johnson. Rates. Smith was a full-time wide receiver in week 3. And I'm going to swap that on my own. Yeah, I love Best Ball Dynasty. It's my favorite. Working out the kinks, but with AI, I vibe coded a slate simulator for DFS. Well, GL. Okay. So I'm going to move Tyler Johnson to 4 and 4. I'm going to move Arian Smith to 9 and 9. It's a little bit heavy. So there you go. 7. That should be good for the Jets. For the Dolphins, I think this all looks good. Maybe a smidgen higher. I'm going to move a smidgen to Waller from Julian Hill. Yeah, that looks about right. Move him to 6 and 2, 6 and 1, because I don't think Julian Hill is going to play much, if any, at all. Sent out Justin Jefferson for Neighbors in a first. I assume that if PS2 is shadowing anyone, it's going to be Higgins, because Higgins is the one who stays out on the boundary, but I can't be 100% certain about that. Now, there's a funny thing that happens on these 2-game slates versus showdowns. So the last Monday Night Football game that we had, let's go mini, sort by dollars won. So I chopped the last mini max. I won the last Monday Night Football slate. What was the winning team? Herbert, Bucky, Nick Chubb, Quentin Johnson, Jacoby Myers, Nico Collins, Brock Bowers, Keenan Allen, and the Chargers defense. The issue with coming first placed in this tournament was that I chopped it 75 ways. So obviously it's nice to win, but I need to remember I do not want to chop it, 88 ways or whatever with anyone. So I need to introduce some deduping rules in this sim. All right, let's look at the Cincinnati and Denver side. Chase Brown. Yep, all that's good. Chase, T, Gesicki, Noah Fant is out. Cam Grandy, huh? Yeah, I think I also would rather lose than chop with 75 of my friends. I think this all looks good. Maybe a little heavy on Gesicki, but whatever. I actually am going to bump Harvey target share. Going to bump Bidet down a little bit. I'm going to bump Sherfield down a little bit. And I am going to bump Adam Troutman down just an absolute hair. And that should get me into a good range, because I do think that this is more of a Harvey. Yes. Yeah. So basically the last time we did this was the last time we did this specifically was the first bag check show, and I did win. So I did get first place, but I didn't even think about deduping until afterward. But let's do the Sim Runner Pro. By the way, you can get 10% off of Run the Sims if you use promo code swole. And I would encourage you to do it because it feels like the sims and the projections have been pretty good. I've been very pleased with what we've got. Oh, okay. So I actually need to run more sims than this. I would like to do 3,000 lineups. I would like the size of my contest field to be really top heavy. I'll run 1,000 sims because I don't need any more than that. Ownership range is fine. Top heavy. Okay, there you go. This is going to take a little bit longer to run. Very, very good from Mark here. Harvey will put a dent in the Bengals defense. I love to see it. Me personally, big Batman guy, big Harvey Dent guy. You absolutely love to see it. If you don't want to chop, take NWI. Kind of forgot Nick Westbrook-Akeen existed, to be honest. I just don't spend too much time thinking about Nick Westbrook-Akeen. All right, I have got the entry tab downloaded. Do you guys want to know how cheap I am? I am a professional work from home person, and I don't even pay for Microsoft Office. I use Open Office. Freeware Open Office, because that is how I'm removing tight end from the flex, but I use Open Office to do this. Best Batman. Okay, well, truly, Mark, my favorite Batman content is Batman the Animated Series. But yeah, I mean the best Batman movie is The Dark Knight. Ooh, best Batman actor. I mean, it's got to be Christian Bale, right? I thought Robert Pattinson was good as Batman, though. But Batman the Animated Series is the best Batman. So give me Kevin Conroy. Give me Kevin Conroy as the best Batman. Yeah, Dart was giga banged up yesterday, Nick. Super banged up, but he's fine. He's fine. All right. Teammates with quarterback. I'm not going to mess with that. Total running backs with quarterback. Total wide receivers with quarterback. Total opponents. Players per team. So I'm not going to mess with any of this. Are there any guys that I do want 2 running backs from? I don't want 2 Dolphins. I guess there's sometimes you'd want 2 running backs from the Broncos. DST in the same game as the quarterback. Yeah. It's not Val Kilmer, bro. That's crazy. I mean, Conroy to me, obviously. And I really liked Adam West Batman is really good too. All right, how would I go? I'm trying to think about how I would go about deduping here. I guess the first thing I would do would be 49,600 max salary. So that's going to be the first deduper. And I guess maximum sum ownership. I don't know if that feels that effective, though, is the issue. What would you guys do to dedupe in a 2-game slate? Like, honestly, I guess one of the things I could do is just play the lower EV lineups. Yeah, I mean, Broncos D is obviously super high priced. By the way, how many of you guys are still are the lobbies messed up on Underdog still, or are we going to be able to head back in there and play? Okay. Like, I don't know. Let's just see. This is the 500 lineup. Tua, A-Chain, Dobbins, Malik Washington, Tyreek Hill, Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, Chase Brown, and the Broncos defense. I mean, that's probably not duped. Mark Hamill as the Joker, like legitimately unbelievable. Chase Ingram, Chase Brown. I mean, Jets defense obviously does a good bit of. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I want to exclude. Really, I'd like to, how many? What's the best Marvin Mims team? Best Mims team, 165 EV, 1.2%, top 1% rate. Bo Nix, Breece Hall, Devin Achane, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Jamar Chase, Evan Ingram, Chase Brown, and the Jets defense. Jake's BR is still frozen. All right. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a duper. It's absolutely going to be a dupe slate. I tell you what, if you're not first, you're last. I'm just not playing Chase Brown. There you go. How about that? That's an easy way. That should cut in pretty deep to the combinations to just not play Chase Brown, which is probably bad. He's probably one of the most under-owned guys of the slate. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I want to exclude. Probably not, honestly. Fields, Achane, Dobbins, Wilson, Sutton, Waddle, Taylor, Jamar, Broncos. Yes, that team will definitely be duped a lot. All right, Joey says it's still broken. Okay, well, good to know. I wish I could get more Jake Browning teams here, but maybe that just is what it is. Still, maybe I could. What's like a max? Do I want to do like a max sum own of 400? Oh, 4,000. No, 400. Maybe that helps. Actually, GM, Mr. Brawley. All right, that cuts a lot of the EV, but it does help a lot. These are much more unique teams. Like we've got a Tanner Connor popping up in here. A lot of Mims, a lot of more wide receiver in the flex on these teams. You know what? I'm not seeing very much RJ Harvey here, and that is like the first thing that I want. Let's go plus EV players. Optimal results. What's the optimal rate for Harvey? Yeah, Harvey just is not getting into these teams at all. So I'm gonna have to boost his projection. All right, let's go back into the inputs. Let's do two things. So the first is let's bump Harvey TD rate to 30%. And let's take that away from Dobbins. Let's get him to 40. We'll go Bo Nix. We'll do 1. And we'll keep Beatty at 1. All right, boost his TD rate. And let's boost his receiving touchdown market share. And that should help, even if this is not a super scientifically accurate way to do it. You know what? I'm just gonna send Beatty to 0, actually, is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pretend that this is a straight up 2-man backfield, and that should help me get some more of Mr. RJ Harvey. They do show dupes on the showdown, not for the 2-gamer. Here you go. Yeah, if Harvey gets it going, it's like an unbelievably good matchup for him. It is the rookie running back week. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good call. Building a lineup with Harvey and Gordon combined. That'll get you That'll get you super deep in the non-deduper areas. Yeah, Harvey actually, it's funny. Harvey actually started their last game. People forget Harvey did start their last game. Did I get any more of him here? Optimal results at running back. All right, we got up to 20% optimal rate on Harvey. All right, let's go. All right, this will be another way to get deeper into it. Let's only allow running back. There we go. Now we're getting a bunch of Harvey. So if I eliminate running back from that's just going to give me a shit ton of Harvey. Okay. All right. I think that is where we want it. You're welcome for the Gene T write-up yesterday. Loved Gene T yesterday. Almost led us to generational wealth. Not quite there. All right. These lineups look really good to me now. Should be a good amount of Harvey. Should be a good amount of Broncos stuff in general. So let's download this CSV. Let me pop open Microsoft Open Office and copy and paste over. I'd win if I had 150 lineups too. Would you? Because I sure wouldn't. All right, there we go. My final lineup has Troy Franklin in the flex. Don't know how you could ever go wrong with Troy Franklin in the flex. We will go over to DraftKings, upload my CSV. 150 lineups are locked in. There we go. It's that easy to run the Sims. It's never actually been easier to run the Sims. All right. Do we want to try and hop in? Does anyone have word? Are drafts frozen or are they live? Anyone know? Please tell us. Oh, John says the app works. Okay. All right. Well, as long as the old application's working. All right, let's try then. If I got to draft this one on my phone, we'll draft it on my phone. But let's do a Dog Bowl qualifier number 5. Let's hop in. And if I have to draft it on my phone, I can still do the draft board on the screen. Gonna be a week that it's a lot tougher to find scrolls. It's like, let's see, the quarterback 12 is Dart. Okay. All right. Jay Dart. Bo Nix. Tanner McKee has an ADP. Love to see it. Bryce Young. Bryce Young is actually clickable, I think. Running back. JCM. Man, gross 3-way timeshare in the backfield there. Even all 3 Commanders running backs played exactly 20 snaps, which is wild. JCM just seems like the best running back there, but is not led to anything yet. And it might. He's probably, you know what he is? He's like basically Isaiah Pacheco on the Commanders. All right, Dog Bowl qualifier. I am drafting out of the 8 spot. We've got Psychedelic Curse. We've got Dabke. We've got Ingalks. Of course, we had to have Patrick Barnes YouTube. We got my boy Josh Dombrowski drafting right next to me. We have Dave. We've got Chris G. We've got Nez. We've got Urbanic. Our John and Nez aren't live right now, are they? Are they about to be live? I'm a bad friend. They're about to start in 10 minutes. So you guys can go and can check them out in 10 minutes. So Nez will be frantically finishing his BRs as the Badge Bros show begins. I would say right now my 12-man targets. First off, what the fuck is this Cam Ward ADP? That's insane. I would say right now Daniel Jones pretty high on that list. I would say David Montgomery pretty high on my list. I would say Wandale pretty high. Josh Downs pretty high. Trey Tucker very low. Very, very low on Trey Tucker. Gadsden ran 50% of the routes. It is. It's fat boy fall, brother. It's true. If you've been hiding your gut, now's the time. You can toss a sweatshirt on. No one would ever know, brother. No one would ever know. All right, all running backs to start with. St. Brown goes. I will take Jackson Smith and Jigba. I will actually take JSN happily here because I actually don't even mind. I don't really mind Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is probably fine. If the Broncos struggle tonight, no one will be drafting Goff at all. That feels like a good late quarterback. Well, Goff is certainly a good quarterback, but Sam Darnold in 12-mans is probably fine. All right. Okay, well, Genty was who I had my eye on for my second round pick. I have to take a running back at this next pick or I'm going to be super far behind. But running back is a tough scene, actually. Yeah, Darnold still does run a little bit. That is true. So I just pulled up the Slappy Central Discord right now. And the first thing I read, we're really close to decoding dolphin languages. We know they give each other names. I don't think they're smarter than us, though. That's just the first thing I read in the Slappy Central Discord. So that's what you guys are missing. If you are a non-member and you're not in the Slappy Central Discord, I mean, what are you doing, man? Members only videos. The most locked in and engaged best ball Discord. That's what you're missing, bro. Ooh, this is bad stuff. I gotta take a running back. Kamara, you know what, dude? I'm taking Trey Benson. Trey Benson roll, totally fine. They're playing against this awful team. It's gonna be totally fine there. That's I bet that ends up being. This isn't obviously going to be exactly Trey Benson's ADP. That'll be a little bit of an overpay. But let's compare utilizations for the Cardinals. So for the Cardinals, Trey Benson in week 4, 53% of the snaps, 67% of the rush attempts, 13% target share, 23% targets per route run. The thing is, he got no long down and distance. The first 3 weeks of the season, Benson played 72% of the long down. Yeah, man, that's tough. But yes, if Woody Marks can do it, why can't Trey Benson? It's true. It's true. Woody Marks, a very good pick in the 12-man drafts right now. Happy to be clicking him. It's kind of an interesting week to be drafting early because there are so many Q tags. Like Lamar legitimately Q, Jaden Daniels legitimately Q. Panthers in a game they might be able to win. Brock Bowers, what's up with the knee? Is he going to have the brace on? Is he not going to have the brace on? Does Terry McLaurin play, impacting Deebo Samuel? Actually interesting to draft on. It could only be one guy, Josh. It could only be one man in the Sloppy Central Discord talking about dolphin languages. Oh, I tell you, man, if you get this question right this week in terms of how to dictate your exposures between Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, and Keenan Allen, I think you're probably going to win. Traded Chase Brown for Benson and Pollard. I mean, dude, Chase Brown is dead in fantasy football. I am all the way over it for Chase Brown. He is a mediocre to low level talent that is also behind one of the worst run blocking lines in the NFL. I just don't see how it works. I don't see the math behind that one. By the way, Numi said that if you have frozen drafts, that he mass unfroze them all. So there you go. Legendary. Hey, I'm sure I have some best ball teams that could benefit from Chase Brown having a legendary game. Just doesn't feel like the most likely outcome. Hey man, they got to work with a third-party provider. I'm never getting mad at Shane, Mr. Shane Newman, or Mr. Hope Bishop, Mrs. Hope Bishop. You guys can get mad at plenty of people. By the way, Bucky Irving is getting an MRI. Rachaad White, a Rachaad White early in the season scroll. Are you guys hip? Up 30 against Garrett Wilson and J.K. Dobbins. You're live, bro. You're not cooked. You're living in there. Okay. Do I want to do Dobbins against Philly? Do I want to do Tony Pollard? Do I want to do Marvin Harrison? Do I want to do Michael Pittman Jr.? You know what? I am going to do Michael Pittman. No. Yeah, Michael Pittman Jr. And then set up a dimes. Yes, not Marv. Never Marv. A bag of Mr. Tucker. Yeah. Yeah, I also have a bag of Mr. Tucker. Are the Bucks trending down, or does Baker carry them? Well, thankfully, their division is terrible. My boy Dave. Ooh, I guess I didn't share what actually is my best fantasy team. My true favorite fantasy team that I have drafted this year is in the. Did anybody get their 150 max? The t-shirt, Helen Eckler 69 is a very funny name. Probably not super politically correct, but it is hilarious. Chief, I can't have this, bro. I cannot have you bad mouthing Baker Mayfield. You feel take that to the Peter overs at Discord. We're not hating on Baker Mayfield around these parts. All right. Well, the question is, do I try and take Daniel Jones here? Do I try and push it and say that I'm okay with Sam Darnold? Is Jake Browning a click? Jake Browning might be a click. Okay, this is the one I wanted to show you guys. Look at this fucking nope. not the little board. Look at this big dog team. I mean, it is perfect. Other than the quarterback too. Patrick Mahomes, Bryce Young, Derrick Henry, Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet, Cam Scadaboo, Byshell Tootin, Woody Marks, Puka Nacua, Tet, Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, Emeka Egbuka, Jalen Coker, Isaac Tesla, Tyler Warren, Brenton Strange, Theo Johnson. This team is winning the big dog. So I'm winning the big dog this year, in combination with my friend Dave. What an absurd team. Okay. The real question is, if I try and push it, how hard am I going to get punished? I think I'm going to get punished fairly hard. So I'm going to take Jaquavius Woody Marks and try and get lucky. Where would I rank Theo Johnson amongst tight ends rest of season? I would rank him like the tight end 20 or something like that. I'm not like not all in on him, but he's fine. It's true. It's true. Mahomes has been good for fantasy even when the team has not been very good, Jake. The team is fire. 2 sweats tonight, down 7 with Knicks versus Tyreek, and up 33 versus Sutton in the Denver D. Oof. The old Monday Night Football sweats, man. It's honestly, it actually is one of my favorite things in fantasy football, the Monday Night Football or the Sunday Night Football sweat. It's something I make fun of Soccer Dave about, but it's very, very it is a very good sweat. I just wouldn't want to show up to an Allen, Lamar, Hurts. Well, I mean, all right, let's look this up. Who has more fantasy points right now? Who do we think has more fantasy points, Hurts or Mahomes? I honestly do not know, but I bet it's pretty close. Fantasy points 2025. Quarterback fantasy points right now. Mahomes has 84. No, Mahomes has 89. Jalen Hurts has 84. I'm just saying, Jake. Quarterback 3 in fantasy football. All right, Daniel Jones is still on the board, but Dabke is going to take him right here. So I'm going to get, yeah. All right. Well, I deserve that. That's okay. That's okay. I deserve that. Let's start thinking about tight end. So could do Dart Theo, could do Nix Ingram, could do Bryce Young Tremble, could do Tua Waller, could do Darnold Barner, Browning Gesicki. There are some options here. Hey, Dabke did the right thing. I mean, his second running back is going to suck. Or his third wide receiver, I guess. I'm definitely not doing Cam Chig. Definitely not doing Cam Chig. Might be 3 wide receiver season in BR this week. I tell you what. Really might be. True. Have JSN. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but Baker, maybe unstacked Kyler, honestly. I heard jamming DFS wins is the male version of nesting. Imagine 2 months ago if someone said, I have JSN, Trey Benson, Pittman, and Woody Marks. It's a great reminder, bro. We don't know shit. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm taking unstacked, uncorrelated Dak, I think. Why not? Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to take Bo Nicholas. I think Bo Nix is a smidge underrated because he's been so bad this year. And don't get me wrong, he's been awful. He really has been. But he also was awful at the start of last year. He really was. And then I guess the question is now, do I take Evan Ingram? You know who I actually really like? Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews and Likely each Mark Andrews ran 23 routes, Likely ran 20. Andrews was targeted 8 times, Likely was targeted 0 times. Which is pretty interesting. I was led to believe that Mark Andrews that his career was over. All right. My boy Lil Dodger 24 told me don't take Evan Ingram. Likely was a decoy. Well, doesn't seem like he decoyed very much, Pepper Tony. Seemed like Spags knew what was coming. That's all I'm saying. All right. Ingram. Maybe I take Likely. Maybe Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor against the Giants. I'm probably just going to take Ingram, though. Oh, maybe I just take Goddard. Goddard has got to be better than Ingram. Got to project like 6 points better. No, honestly, I think Evan Ingram stinks. All right, yeah, we are gonna take the unintentional correlation with Dallas Goedert. Bo Nix, Trey Benson, Woody Marks, JSN, Michael Pittman Jr., and Dallas Goedert. Harbaugh said Lamar avoided season-ending surgery. That's a crazy statement. All right, boys, that's going to wrap it up for me here. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you want more fantasy football content, head on over. Come check out us, what we're doing over at patreon.com/JavisMatic. Everything you need to manage your fantasy football teams. There's a link to that in the description.